Our investigators was able to get a phone number to a phone that the suspect might be carrying with him, and then we were able to use information from that phone number to track the suspect to the Idaho Falls area. Our dispatch center then contacted Idaho Falls, advised them that we believed he would be in the Idaho Falls area, and they were able to locate him. They conducted a felony traffic stop and were able to take him into custody without incident.
What is a felony traffic stop?
Felony traffic stop is any kind of a high-risk situation that would require additional officers. It's usually at least 2 officers and sometimes more, where they position themselves in a area where they can gain cover and the advantage from the tactical position behind the vehicle, and then they call the person out with a PA system so that everybody's aware that the police are there, they're armed, and that any sudden movements could cause a real problem for the person.
So that especially weapons drawn?
Yes, generally speaking, I don't know how the stop went down in Idaho, but if we were to effect that stop here, it would be at least 2 officers. They would have their weapons drawn on this individual, of course, because of the seriousness of the offense where he'd actually shot 3 people and killed an individual. So we want to make the advantages on our side rather than on the suspect's side. So they generally call that person out of the car, make him walk backwards to the car. They make him go to the ground, and then they're able to handcuff him while other officers cover him. So it's just an extra level of safety for the officers who effect an arrest in a dangerous situation like that.
And I guess when they arrested, how'd that go? I mean, he was arrested.
From what I'm told, there was no incident at all during the arrest. He was compliant, did what he was told, and the arrest went off without a hitch.
Good. And so what is next? What happens?
Well, he'll appear in court today in Bonneville County, and if he waives extradition, then we will have him back in Butte fairly quickly. We'll actually probably travel there and pick him up and bring him back within the next week or 2, I guess, depending on the court proceedings. If he does not waive extradition, then we'll have to get a governor's warrant to extradite him to Butte Silver Bow to face the offense. And that could take some time, so that could take a month or even more. So it depends on him right now as whether he's going to waive extradition or not.
And how about any update in any new info or just any addition about the incident, the shooting? I mean, motivation, what happened?
As far as I know, our investigators plan to talk again to the 2 individuals who survived the shooting, and they'll be able to get a better idea of the positions that each person was in after they've had time to kind of digest this whole thing. But we'll definitely interview the 2 individuals who survived again to get any additional details that they may not have been able to provide us in the heat of the moment yesterday when the incident was so close at hand. So we'll continue with that. We'll also continue with dealing with the investigators in Idaho as far as what they recovered from the vehicle, if there's any evidence on the person of the suspect or in the vehicle. And then we may have to make arrangements to get the vehicle back here as well as any evidence that's recovered.
And he was in the stolen vehicle that...
Yes, he was in the 1998 Mitsubishi Mirage.
And so a motive at this point? Anything?
Still no real reason or any motive for this type of violent activity. No, we don't have a real motive at this time.
And we haven't heard if he's said anything. He hasn't talked yet, obviously.
He was interviewed yesterday by Bonneville County Sheriff's personnel, and I haven't heard of what the results of that interview were. Whether he was cooperative or not, I don't know at this point.
He's and do we know anything about him? I mean, did you glean any extra information about what he was doing in Butte?
No, we haven't got any more information on the suspect other than what we had yesterday. He'd been here a very short time. He was an acquaintance of one of the individuals who was wounded and survived, and why he came here or what exactly the circumstances were for him coming here from Texas are still a little cloudy.
All right.